Okay, so just to start back where we left off. So, the Queen of Swords here does represent the mind. It represents mental power and being able to control your mind. And one of the best things that you can do as somebody who is trying to change your life is to be able to control your thoughts and your mind. So, you might be somebody that struggles with a lot of negative thoughts about yourself as well. And that might be keeping you from having confidence and living to your best potential. So the Three of Swords also came up right side up in this spread, and the Three of Cups actually. So the Three of Cups just symbolizes harmony. It symbolizes positive people in your life. And you might be trying to clear yourself of toxic relationships here. You might also be very lonely. I'm sensing a loneliness from this spread. I feel like a lot of you might have social anxiety, and that might be keeping you from meeting the people. Maybe you've been invited out to dinners with your friends. Maybe a sibling has invited you out to dinner with their friends, and you've just not been really wanting to go. You haven't been feeling that confident because you just don't feel confident in front of people. You get anxious, you get nervous, and then you feel like you can't make those meaningful connections. So this is definitely something that's coming up, and I think that another thing that you need to do is the Two of Pentacles just came up, which does have to do with money, finances, investments, values. And the Two of Pentacles also has to do with choices and what you invest your time in, what you invest your values in, what you invest yourself in. And it's really about you having the power in this situation. You have the power to make a choice. You have the power to either invest in good thoughts or invest in negative thoughts, to concentrate on those thoughts that make you anxious, or to concentrate on those thoughts and fantasies that you have of having a great social life, of being confident, of socializing and being social, or for some of you, living that life without those negative thoughts, without that negativity in your mind, whatever that negativity might be, and however it might be manifesting, whether it's in the form of something like OCD, or if it's in the form of another type of maybe eating disorder, or anything that might be a compulsion that's stopping you from living your best life. I also am getting from this Two of Pentacles that there is, if you see in this card, there's a ship that is like being tossed up and down in the water here, and it's kind of like in a storm, but at the same time it's coasting in this tumultuous turbulence that's right here, the waves and all of that. So this is about stability. This is about you creating your own stability, and it's also about you choosing a more stable lifestyle for yourself. For some of you, you might have to invest in therapy to get over some of these negative thoughts. You might want to invest in a life coach or in some type of group therapy or group sessions to get over those issues. I'm also sensing for a lot of you, it probably has to do with this starting in childhood trauma, and that might be something that you need to invest in working through. And another card that comes up for you guys is the King of Wands. And it just all has to do with your willpower. The King of Wands has to do with desire. Some of you might be an Aries, a Leo, possibly a Sagittarius. Others of you with this Pentacles card coming up may be a Virgo, possibly a Taurus or a Capricorn. You could be any sign, but those signs especially are jumping out to me. So if you're not that sign, then you might have that sign somewhere in your chart. And it's really about your own desire. The planet Mars is also jumping out to me. So this is also about your desire to overcome. This is about your willpower. And anything can be done if you put your mind to it, if you put your willpower to it, if you redirect your thoughts, which is the Queen of Swords here. And if you get your mind right, then anything is possible. And if you use your intentions and your willpower, the power of intent is really big, guys, especially with magic and with if you are doing any full moon magic for this full moon, the power of intent is what makes those desires manifest. So with the King of Wands being here, it's saying that yes, you absolutely do have the power to overcome this. You actually, can do this. And sometimes you might doubt yourself and think, well, maybe this just isn't meant for me. Maybe I want to be social, or maybe I want to attain this goal that I've always wanted to attain in my life, that I know would make my life better, but I just don't know if it's meant for me because it just hasn't happened for me yet. And the King of Wands is here to show you that it is very possible for you. You are supposed to do this. This is something that you have the potential to do. Fire signs are also represented by the Wands cards. And fire signs represent potential as well as inspiration. And one thing that you could do is also listen to inspiring songs to get you inspired to do this, to get you motivated for those days when you may not feel that great about yourself. You can use affirmations and really just get yourself inspired and revved up and going so that you can be inspired to make those changes in your life. So yeah, that's just something that's here as far as this King of Wands card, to show you that you can do it. Like, it's within you. You have the potential to do it, and it's absolutely within your power to do it. You just have to not only believe in yourself, but every day wake up with that determination and that intent to make it happen for yourself. Whether that means going to therapy every day, guys, whether that means saying affirmations for yourself, or whether that means linking up with a group of people that are, trying to do the same things as you. Like, you can definitely do this. So it's definitely within you. So the Nine of Swords is also here, and that just shows me that one of the things holding you back from this is that you worry a lot, and you want to make sure that, when you do have negative thoughts, that you realize that those negative thoughts are pulling you further away from your goals. You may be an Aquarius or a Libra. A lot of people don't know that Libras do actually suffer from a lot of social anxiety or nervousness. You guys think a lot about what's going to happen next, what people think of you, and you guys think a lot in general. So this could definitely, especially the Libra season ending, a lot of times when you go into that next season after your sign, it tends to be a little bit rough for some of you guys. So, and that's with any sign, the next season over can be kind of like a challenge after that big celebration of your season being over. So, definitely just make sure that you rest your mind. Make sure that you meditate. Do things to take your mind off of those negative thoughts, because those negative thoughts are going to pull you back from what you want. And then I also, one of the bigger cards that came up, this is actually a really big card, you guys. It has to do with a cycle ending possibly for you during this Taurus moon. You guys can definitely use this Taurus moon to ground and to learn how to meditate. But the Judgment card came up upside down right next to this Nine of Swords. And that lets me know that for a lot of you guys, you have very negative thoughts about yourself. You judge yourself a lot. And a lot of times you might look in the mirror and criticize your body. You're very overly critical of yourself. And that's something that's keeping you back from a lot of these things that you want. So that's one thing that you guys need to work on, is to not be so hard on yourself. A lot of you guys have overcome child abuse. A lot of you guys have maybe been in the foster care system, or with people and grew up with caretakers that maybe didn't care about you, or maybe weren't necessarily your parents, and you felt like an inconvenience, and you internalized that. And because of that, you judge yourself a lot. And this is letting me know, by it being upside down with this spread, that you guys not only judge yourself a lot, but a lot of times that's what blocks you from being able to move on. So you guys have got to remove those negative self-criticisms and look at self-love affirmations. Those things help a lot when it comes to negative self-thoughts. don't judge yourself as harshly, and instead look at how far you overcome. And Survivor just came on, so that's a signal for me that you guys need to really look at how you survive, really look at all that you've overcome, because a lot of you are survivors in your own way, whether that's through the things that you've overcome emotionally. Some of you have already taken big steps in believing in yourself and trying to overcome this. And so a lot of you guys have already survived so much. Don't give up on yourself just because you're facing a hurdle right now. Keep inspiring yourself. So I'm just going to pull one last card for you guys. And this is the Hangman upside down. This lets me know that a lot of you feel stuck. A lot of you, what's blocking you is this internal feeling of feeling stuck. However, in this spread, the Hangman is upside down, which lets me know that you guys aren't really stuck. You just feel stuck. And it's that feeling of being stuck in a rut, of feeling like you're not going anywhere, of feeling like you've been dealing with this for 10, 12 years, maybe longer than that. Maybe some of you guys are in your early 20s and you've been dealing with this since middle school, and you just feel like that you're trying and you're not getting anywhere with this. And this is just to let you know, this card is here to let you know that that is just a feeling. That's not actually your situation. You're not stuck at all. This is just how you feel. And once you learn to keep going and to keep being determined, and the song is actually saying a lot. This is possibly God's coming through for you guys as well, to go through and to make sure that you know that you're going to make it, that you work harder, that you press through, that when you feel like you're doing your hardest, not to be hard on yourself, but to go even harder in your efforts to overcome this hurdle that you're facing. So the Hangman is just, this is just a feeling. This being stuck is just a feeling. Don't let that determine whether you give up or not. Work through the feeling, because feelings come and go. Feelings aren't an indication that you're not improving. It's just a feeling for that moment. And for a lot of you guys, that's just a lot of your self-criticism, again, coming back up, that judgment card coming back up and making you feel like you're not making any progress because you're so used to being hard on yourself. So focus on the King of Wands in this spread. Focus on inspiring yourself, cultivate your determination, and keep pressing forward, and you will make it through this. And the Taurus moon is just here with that determination. For you all, it's about looking on the other side. And the song is actually saying it's like surround yourself with positive things, and make sure that you're stubbornly. A lot of Tauruses are known for being very stubborn. And stubbornness can be a good thing a lot of times, even when things are hard. Taurus is like challenges. They're not going to back down from a challenge. And you all can harness that Taurus energy to press through and to steadily press through to your goal of overcoming what this represents for you guys. So best of luck to you guys for pile 1. Okay, so for pile 2. Pile two. What are you guys supposed to be working on? What is the full moon here going to teach you? And what is it here to teach you? So what are you guys going to manifest? A lot of you guys have troublemakers in your social circle. A lot of you guys have people in your life, siblings, relatives, who are just about the drama. Like, that's all that they want to do is create drama. They're texting you with this drama. They're trying to bring you into their drama. They're trying to bring you into their relationship drama. I see the 5 of Swords that's upside down. And this is just representing the drama that you don't want to be a part of. They're calling you with this. They're calling you with their baggage. They're trying to bring it in. They're trying to bring you into it. And with a lot of you, when you want support from these people, they're not there. Like, some of them have backstabbed you before. Some of them haven't been there for you. And so you're side-eyeing these people anyway, because you're like, why are you calling me when you're not even being there for me? You're not even there for me. Like, you're not a thorough person. Like, you're only there when you want something, or you're only there when it's convenient for you, or when you feel like you can get some type of attention from whatever it is that I'm doing. So a lot of these people really stand on shaky ground with you guys anyway. And for a lot of you guys, the 9 of Wands came up. And here you're trying to decide what you want to do because you're like, some of you do value the relationships that you have with these people, but you're just like, this isn't really what I want. A lot of these people have very fishy energy. Some of you might be dealing with a Gemini, some of you might be dealing with a Pisces. A lot of people just have an iffy energy, and you're just like, I really don't know if I want to engage in this because you're trying to figure out why these people are engaging with you. Why are you always bringing me into your drama? Why are you calling me right now for this? A lot of them are just drama queens. I'm getting big like drama queen, attention whore energy from this. And a lot of you are really looking to embark out on your own. For some of you, these people, these drama queens, these attention whores, they're siblings in your life. Some of them are close friends that you know since childhood or schoolmates. And you're really looking to just embark on your own peaceful journey. You really don't want to bring these people along with you into the next stage of your life, whatever you're doing in your career. You really don't want them messing it up, sabotaging it, or distracting you. And this is the Chariot, and for a lot of you guys, that represents, especially with the Taurus energy, it represents moving, embarking into a strong place in your life where you're moving into your own. You're moving into your own financially. You might be starting a new career. You might be starting your own business. You might be, trying to move into a more powerful social circle. You might be just trying to create your own, reinvent your own personality, starting things for yourself and reinventing yourself as an individual and really bringing yourself out there, putting yourself out there as an individual. And these people are really just negativity that's bringing you down. So, interesting. So another card I just pulled up was the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands often represents a burden. It can also be something that's making us feel burdened. It can be something that is making us feel like, for a lot of you, this is other people's kids. Maybe a sibling or a relative keeps asking to watch their child when it's inconvenient for you, but they're a single mom and you feel bad for them, or they're in a tough situation financially, so you feel bad for them and you do it, when really you need to be using that time to deal with things for you. You need to be using that time to invest in your own life and your own circumstances and whatever that may be for you. So for a lot of you, maybe this is watching somebody's pet, maybe this is house sitting, maybe this is some sort of task that is not yours to do, but you're always called on to do it. And this is burdening you guys. It's also taking you away from your own desires. So the King of Swords came up upside down, and a lot of you know instinctively that this is not a good idea. You know that this is not, that engaging with these people is not a good idea. It's not the best decision, but you feel like you don't want to go through the drama with this person, because the people that are represented here, like everything that they do is dramatic. Like everything, going to the supermarket is a dramatic event for them. So you know that if you put down boundaries with this person, they're going to end up creating some type of drama, or there's going to be some type of drama that you're going to have to go through in order to do that. They're going to yell at you on the phone. Maybe some of you are very quiet or non-confrontational people, and that's kind of how you got pulled into doing these things to begin with, because you didn't want to have to argue with this person, and this person might be very argumentative. And so basically what's represented here is that you have to deal with it with your mind. You're thinking about it emotionally when you need to be thinking about it mentally, and act like the King of Swords. Take on the nature of the King of Swords, which is very impartial. But the King of Swords always makes good decisions. This is also a very strong Aquarian energy. This can be Gemini energy. Maybe the person you're dealing with is a Gemini or a Libra. That's very imbalanced, somebody who's not on the mature side of that. And the King of Swords has to do with you really thinking straight about this and making a decision that's best for you. Making a decision that, think of yourself as a business. If you were to do something or invest in something that was bad for the business, you would stop investing in it, right? So you have to stop investing in these people that are not trustworthy, that are not that are not good for you. And when you deal with this person, don't let them, when you tell them no, when you draw those boundaries with them, don't allow them to draw you into their negativity, into their arguments. You can say to them, I'm sorry you feel that way. You can say to them, things that are very impartial. Look up drawing boundaries. Look up, how to not get sucked into arguments, and just don't get sucked into it. Like, remain just in a very mental state instead of getting into it emotionally with them, and don't let them get a rise out of you, and that way you won't be pulled into that drama, because some of you really do need to let these people go, or distance yourself from these people. So the Tower just came up as well, and that lets me know that for a lot of you, this is going to be a transformation. This is really going to transform your life. You're going to feel like a weight is taken off of you. 10 of Wands. When you do distance yourself from these energies that these people are bringing into your life. For a lot of you also, you might fear change. Some of you might be Tauruses, some of you might be Capricorns or Virgos, earth signs, and you really hate confrontation or unnecessary drama. And you also fear the change that this is going to bring, because you know there's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be, like, some type of drama, even if it's not engaged in by you, by the other person, with you telling this person no. But this has to be done for your own peace of mind. So this just has to do with also what's holding you back is that fear of this change, even though this is a change that's much needed for you to get to the Chariot moment that you're waiting for. So also the Magician came up upside down. So for a lot of you guys, there's a lot of major cards coming up in here. The Tower card, the Chariot, and the Magician, which lets me know this is a change that you guys need to make in order to get to the next stage in your life. This stopping from making this change is going to stop you guys from getting to that next level that you guys really want to go to. And you being afraid of this Tower moment, of this shakeup, of the relationships that might fall apart, or this person talking about you behind your back, or whatever drama this person might try to bring into your life, is keeping you from getting to that change that you need to make within yourself. So you guys really need to shake out of that fear mindset of being afraid of this other person, because you can't control this other person. You can only control you. And this person is stopping you from making that change. This is the Knight of Wands upside down. And the Knight of Wands has to do with fire signs. You might be a Leo. You might be a Sagittarius that called yourself being generous to somebody. And now they're taking advantage of that by trying to intimidate you out of getting rid of them in your life. And this Knight of Wands being upside down just lets me know that some of you lack the courage to go forward and to get this person out of your life. You're scared of the emotional turmoil this person's going to try to put you through. You're scared of the yelling. You're scared of the fighting, of the arguing. You try really hard. Some of you might be a Libra. A lot of you try hard to keep your life peaceful, and you don't want the drama. Like, you're just not about the drama. I'm just hearing a lot of you say, I'm not about the drama. But for you guys also, the card that I just pulled up upside down is the Two of Cups. And for a lot of you, you guys already know that this relationship is unhealthy. This is not a healthy union. Every time that you leave this person, you feel worse. You don't feel better. So just know that you need to really think about, instead of thinking about the negative things that this person might do or say, know that's really out of your control and you can't change them. Again, going back to the Magician, you can only change you. So just go back and think about how happy you're going to be once you have this person out of your life. Give yourself a little test and distance yourself from this person for 2 to 3 days. Don't answer their phone calls. Don't answer their texts. Hit them with a, hey, I'll get back to you later. Block their number if you have to. But really just get rid of this person for a little while and take a break for yourself and see how much better you feel. And once you see how much better you feel thinking about your life staying like that, think about your life staying peaceful and happy and productive. And once you see how happy you can be without this person, that's going to give you the motivation that you need. With this upside down Knight of Wands card, that's going to give you the courage that you need to get rid of this person. And or not necessarily to get rid of them completely, but to distance yourself from them. And with this Taurus moon, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is about relationships. It's regarding relationships. So with this Taurus moon, it's really about bringing those people for you guys in your life that value you. And if this person is constantly being negative and bringing drama, or if they're just all about drama and they're not really investing anything positive into your life, then they don't value you. They probably don't value themselves either, but they don't value you. And, this is what's keeping you from making that next step. Maybe you're getting interviews, you're getting important phone calls, and then this person is calling at the same time as you're on the phone with somebody else, and you end up having to hang up from whatever it is important that you want to do, and you're having to then engage with this person who's sucking you into their drama. So it's really keeping you from your victory. And the last thing that you need to do, guys, is just really, again, this is just basically an echo of the other card that came up. Know that if you get rid of this person, if you distance yourself from this person, you can love them from afar, and that's going to help you to be happy and to bring that fulfillment and peacefulness into your life that you need to be productive. And if you don't, that's going to keep you from this happiness. The last card that came up is the Four of Swords, the Four of Wands, which is about peacefulness, about having happy and harmonious relationships, about your desires coming to fruition. And just know that with this person's action, a lot of you might believe that this person has potential, but this person is showing you their potential. They're showing you that they're not going to live up to that potential. And one thing that you can't do is to change people. And that type of happy relationship isn't possible with them. This is the Four of Wands upside down. It's not possible with them. So you need to look at the fact that holding on to this person is keeping you from that happy life that you deserve, from those peaceful moments in your life that you deserve. So you guys are seeking stability also in your relationships and in your life, which is represented by the sign of Taurus. Taurus has a lot to do with stability. And if you want to bring that stability into your life, you need to let this person be at a distance as far as you're concerned. And distance yourself from that person. All right. So we're moving on to pile 3. Pile 3. All right. Let's see what you guys need to work on for the full moon. A lot of you guys, all right. So for you all, the Five of Wands popped up, the Lovers, and the Sun upside down. Some of you might be going through a rough patch in your relationship where you're constantly fighting with your lover. You might be constantly fighting with a family member that used to be one of your favorite family members, and now you guys are growing apart. This could be somebody that 10 years ago, this was your favorite person, and now it's like you guys just can't get along. Maybe you changed a lot, and they've changed a lot, and you're bumping heads. So let's see what else is pulling up for you guys. So a lot of you also, this might be somebody so the Seven of Cups just popped up. And for a lot of you guys, this might be a high school sweetheart. This might be somebody that you dated since childhood, since you were young. You might have been a couple with this person, going out with this person for the last 5 years, for quite some time. And the universe wants you to broaden your horizons. For a lot of you, you might be stuck in Taurus energy where you're used to what you're used to. You're used to going with what you're used to, what's comfortable. You're used to going with like what makes you feel comfortable, what you've been used to, relationships that you've been used to, things that you already feel comfortable in, and you might be a little scared to change that. But this Seven of Cups is here to show you that you can have options, that you can have options in your relationships, that you can have different friends that you spend time with. You don't all have to put your eggs in one basket. And maybe for some of you, it's time for you to broaden your horizons and to grow as a person. If you're stuck in too much Taurus energy, it can make you stagnant. It can make you not want to change. It can make you not want to try new things. Some of you might be a Taurus. Some of you might be a Leo. Some of you might be Sagittarius. Some of you might be Scorpio, or you might be dealing with one of those signs. And this is just here to show you that you don't want to settle. There are other options out here for you, especially if you're dating. There are other options out here for you. There are so many other people that you could be compatible with, or not, even if it's not a long-term relationship, even if you take a break from this person that you're currently with. Maybe this person was a soulmate and they were here to teach you some things, and now that lesson might be over. It might be hard for you to say goodbye because you care for this person, or you're deeply emotionally attached to this person. But here, there's not only two people in this card for the lovers, but there's also your higher self that's represented. And your higher self is letting you know through this unrest, through this constant argument, that it's time to move on. It might be that you come back to this person. Maybe you and this person will get back together one day. Maybe you guys are meant to get married one day, but everybody needs to take a break at some point and then come back. And a lot of times, taking a break, seeing other people, seeing what else is out there for you, helps you to appreciate that other person better when you come back. And if that person's not meant for you, then once you get back with them, you realize that you guys aren't meant to be together, and it's easier to move on because you know that there's more out there for you. For a lot of you in the dating scene, there may be people out here that they may not be your soulmate, they may not be as important to you, but they're people that you can have fun with. They're people that you can learn different things from, and you have a lot to learn still about yourself, a lot of experiences that you haven't experienced yet. Some of you have grown up in a small town and are considering traveling, and you might have people or even a person that you're dating there that you don't want to leave, but you're itching to get out of that small environment. A lot of you, this is about small environments that you may have just like experienced everything that there is to experience there, and you might love that place, but it's time for you to move on. And this is just showing you that it's okay. Change is okay. And for a lot of you, this Taurus moon is to give you that determination and that courage to move on and to try new things, to not be afraid of change. This is Scorpio season still, so a lot of you are experiencing transformations in addition to this Taurus moon. So it's also here to shake things up and to bring change into your life. So the next card that came up was the moon, and this is really interesting because there's a lover's card here, there's the sun here, this is the moon card here, which lets me know that this is about a major change for you guys. A lot of you are going through some really big changes, even more than the other spreads that I went through. This isn't just about a cycle. This is like, it's a cycle, a big cycle, like a big cycle in your life that is coming to an end and a more exciting one beginning. And for the moon card being here, the sun and the lovers, it lets me know that this is also about emotional unrest. Like, you guys don't feel like this is fulfilling for you anymore. You feel like there's constant, you just don't feel emotionally fulfilled, and you know that there's more for you out there. You instinctively know. Some of you might be a Scorpio or a Pisces, and you know instinctively that there's more for you out there. Some of you may be a Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Some of you might be Cancer. And this moon could also just represent the Taurus full moon, and that you can use this energy of the full moon to move you out of your comfort zone, to give you the courage to move out of a place where you feel stagnant. Also, the Six of Pentacles was pulled up for you guys. For a lot of you, you are still in this relationship or this situation, whether it's a platonic relationship, a relationship with a family member, where you are financially tied to this person. This person's giving you money. You're dependent on this person for giving you maybe gas money to get to work. Maybe this person is paying for your education or paying half the rent. And this is part of what's holding you back, is that you're financially dependent on the person at the moment. So here's how to fix this. Is the Ace of Pentacles, which just came up upside down. What you need to do is to become more financially independent. Some of you need to pick up a second job or a third job. Some of you might need to go back to, to a trade school, go back to school and get some education so that you can get the finances that you need to move out of this situation. Some of you are going to need to spend less time with this person, and that's going to actually help you to leave this person, because that distance of not spending as much time with them is going to give you that breathing space that you need to spend time with yourself and to distance yourself from them. To, even if you're not so sure that you want to leave this person, or you're not so sure you want to break up with this person, or in the relationship, or be it a friendship or a relationship with a relative, a familial connection, you may not want to end that, but it's going to give you that breathing room you need to really just plot out your financial goals and to figure out what it is that you need to do for yourself to move on in your life and to experience those new things that you want to experience. A lot of you are about to experience more financial independence once you make up your mind to get that second job or to finish that trade school. Some of you, I see you guys in a computer lab or in like a computer science environment, and you're either contemplating going back to school or you're already in a course, and you just really need to focus on your studies. This is encouragement to focus on your studies and to not engage in arguments with this person when they want to argue or go back and forth. You can text them and say, wait a second, I'm doing my homework. Wait a second, I'm working on something, I'll get right back to you. Because I'm getting, for a lot of you guys, this is not going to be a very dramatic into the connection. You guys are just growing apart. It's not even that this person means you ill. A lot of them are not bad people. They were good for you for a time, but it's just time to move on. We all outgrow people at times. And not only that, but they're starting to sense that distance from you, and it might be a little painful on their end, and so they might be trying to engage in arguments with you just to keep you engaged. But guys, it's really important for you to focus on your own fulfillment and to focus on what's important for you, and to realize it's time for you to move on. I don't know if you guys can hear Diana Ross coming out, playing in the background, but for a lot of you, it is time for you to come out. It's time for you to move out of that situation, for you to shine, and to not always be eclipsed by this other person. For a lot of you, this person is somebody who is overbearing, who requires a lot of your emotional energy and a lot of your emotional attention, as emotions are represented by the moon. And for a lot of you, it's time for you to give that support and love and care to yourself. And this person, your time with this person really is coming to an end. And here we also have the High Priestess card upside down. And the High Priestess card with the moon is also just showing me, for a lot of you might be female, a lot of you might be young women, a lot of you might just be trying to connect with your divine feminine, or might be psychic or have psychic gifts. A lot of you might be intuitive, and you intuitively know that this connection is coming to an end. Some of you have even had dreams about this and know inside that it's time to move on, and you know that it's been time to move on for some months now, but you don't want to hurt this person. However, you need to know that holding on to this person is keeping you from connecting with your higher self, and it's time for you to engage in experiences that are going to help you to get to know you, who you are, and that are going to get you in touch with your intuition so that you can be guided by your intuition through your life. And don't focus on what other people want for you. Focus on what you want for you. So the last card I'm going to pull for you guys is the Queen of Pentacles. And it's upside down. And again, what this is showing is what's holding you back in this, and moving on and ending this cycle and going forward with what you can manifest in the Taurus moon. So what you guys really need to be focusing on manifesting, and there it is, Me, Myself, and I, coming on by Beyonce. So this really does represent you guys manifesting self-reliance. If you guys know this song, it's Me, Myself, and I is all I got. And for a lot of you, you need to be focusing on what you have. You need to be focusing on your own self-reliance. You need to be focusing on, really developing yourself and your own independence and reliance on yourself and not other people, so that you can develop yourself into whoever it is that you're meant to be. And the thing that's really holding you back is just your lack of financial independence, your lack of control over your own coins. Some of you might be in same-sex relationships and you're the feminine one, and or the more feminine one in a relationship and the connection, and you just really don't have control over your coins. You even think about and fantasize about what you would do if you had your own money, if you had your own independence and didn't have to rely on this person all the time. And this is really about you just taking control of your financial situation so that you can move on. So a lot of you really need to be focusing on, especially with Taurus representing financial stability, being able to cultivate coins, being able to move forward in your career financially so you're making more money. A lot of you really need to be manifesting money in this Taurus new moon. So get your candles together and, be determined to manifest that for yourself so that you can move on and so you can get to that next level and so you don't have to depend on anybody. Because you should never have to depend on anybody to do what it is that you want to do in your life. So pile 4. We're down to the last 2 piles. Pile 4. What does pile 4 need to be working on for the new moon in Taurus? So a lot of you here are not happy at your place of work. We have the 7 of coins, of pentacles. We have here the 9 of cups, upside down. Both of these cards are upside down, by the way. So that just emphasizes the dissatisfaction, the unhappiness, unfulfillment. You guys do not feel like happy at your place of work. You're not able to climb up the ladder. You feel like it's very unfulfilling. This is not your passion. This is not what you want to do. And maybe you got into this job and thought that it was what you wanted to do, thought that you might be there for 5 years or whatever, and now you're seeing that no one's getting anywhere. It's boring. You don't like the people's personalities that you work with. You're not able to connect with anyone. And you just in general feel unfulfilled. And that's just represented here and established here by the 3 of Wands. That you really feel unfulfilled. You're like, this is not at all what I really want. You can see like the man here is looking away. Like a lot of you guys are fire signs. You're really ambitious. You might be an Aries. You might be a Leo. You could be a Virgo. A lot of you could be a Capricorn. You're really just very ambitious. You're the type of person that is a go-getter. Maybe you haven't been able to go and get as much as you wanted to, but you have a lot of potential, and that's just represented by all the brightness here, all the fiery energy in this red, and the bright energy here in his coat and in his cloak. Like, you guys have a lot of potential, and you have a lot of inspiration inside you to be great, but, you are kind of facing barren lands at this point, and you're just feeling like this is a dead end, like this is a dead end job, like this isn't really where I want to be at all, like is this all there is kind of the emotion that's coming from this card. Like, a lot of you have done overtime, a lot of you have worked your ass off at this job, and you're not getting all that much from it. You're getting like 25, 50-cent raises. You're asking your boss for extra hours, and you're getting like 3 hours, 1 shift, 1.5 shifts, and you're like this is just not where it's at for me. So, a way that you try to get out of this, is to fight. And I see a lot of you aren't fighting as hard as maybe what you should or what you might need to. Some of you might need to really stand up for yourself. This is a 7 of Swords here, and it's about victory. It's about you fighting and conquering and winning. And a lot of you guys feel like you're not winning, but this card is also upside down, which lets me know that a lot of you are not standing up for yourself as much as you could be. For a lot of you, you need to give your boss an ultimatum. You need to go on job hunts on your days off. Since a lot of you do have a lot of time off, you need to find a new job. And when you find a new job, if you feel like this job is worth it, if you really feel like you want that management position or that upper position, you need to go in and you need to say, you need to give your boss an ultimatum and say, I need that raise, I need that promotion, and if I can't get it, then I'm out of here. And you may not want to say it in those words, but that's like the gist of what you need to say. Like, you need to give this person an ultimatum and let them know that you know your worth. You know what you're worth. You know that you're a go-getter. You know that you're the type of person, a fighter. You can get whatever you want. A lot of you might have placements where you have a fighting energy about you, but you don't always use it. You can be a passive person, and people can mistake you as a passive person until you decide to really put your foot down. And when you put your foot down, you mean business. And you're a fighter inside, and you need to bring that out at your job and let them know. But don't do that until you find a new job. Don't do that until you find a new place of work. I don't want any of you guys to make any irresponsible financial decisions where you end up without a paycheck. So, don't make any decisions that will leave you without a job. But once you do find that other job, definitely go on interviews, definitely secure another job that's more of what you want, that gives you that ambition, that, where there are other ambitious people around you and real opportunities to move up, where you go into the workplace and you see that there are other people who have moved up in their position. Like, where you talk to the manager and you find out that the manager was in an entry-level position before and he worked his way up too. And once you find that job, go to your old job and say, I want that promotion. I feel like I deserve the promotion. If I'm not able to, I'll work elsewhere. And make sure you secure that other job already, because you may have to leave. This could indicate that you may not win that battle, but the important thing about it is realizing your worth. It may indicate that you need to fight and that it's a possibility, so you'll have two options, your old job and your new job, and you're going to have to then determine what's worth it to you, what you really want, because you're definitely worth it. And for a lot of you, this is about really realizing your worth and going for it, going for that new horizon. This strength card also came up. A lot of you guys are in some stagnant energy as well. Some of you may be Tauruses and you might have been at your job for years. You might have been promised a promotion and you were never given it. I'm also getting a lot of Capricorn energy from this spread as well. And a lot of you just have been working and working and working for eternity, and you haven't seen anything come up from that. Eternity is like little 8 sign right here, and a lot of you have been just like working without time off, without any benefit, any real benefits. And a lot of this is just about staying strong, standing your ground, going for what you want. And you guys might have trouble finding a new job. A lot of you might, it might take a while. It might take a couple months till you really find the job that you want. A lot of you might go on interviews that seem like the same old thing, that are just jobs that are dead ends, like the one that you have. And this card is just encouraging you to have the strength and endurance to wait until you find the job that you want, till you find the opportunity that you want to move on from this job, if that's what you're meant to do. And to really just have that endurance and to know that the right job is out there for you. Like I said, some of you might go into this job, and a couple of you, your job is going to give in and give you that promotion, but then it's going to be up to you to decide whether that's really what you want or whether you're better off in new horizons. And for a lot of you, you're better off just moving on, but that's up to you to determine. So then there's also, which is a clarifier right here. This is the, I thought I just heard some. This is the Six of Swords. And this is just signifying that a lot of you will be better off moving on. A lot of you are going to, in this quest, and you standing up for yourself, you're going to realize that this company isn't all that it's cracked up to be, and that there are a lot of people that they're cheating out of what they're worth. And you're just going to move on. You're going to be disappointed in what you see from this workplace, and you're just going to decide to go ahead and to count your losses and move on, which is really what this card is about. But don't let yourself get discouraged, because with the strength card here, there is a lot here for you. You just have to press on. There is a bright future ahead for you, but you do have to move on and be willing to do that. And that bright future is also just clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. Like, there is something out there for you that is much better, and there's a bright future ahead of you. So don't let a job that's not compensating you correctly get in the way, or be something that you see as a reflection of your self-worth, because it's not a reflection of your self-worth. This is just this job being stupid and not knowing how to treat a good employee well. But this is a wheel of fortune, and a lot of you are going to experience a great pay raise when you get this next job. A lot of you are going to get that managerial position. A lot of you may not have a lot on your resume because you might have been at this job for years. And that might be at first what keeps you from finding a great job quickly. But when you do find that great job, they're going to see your managerial potential. They're going to see your leadership potential. They're going to see that potential for a promotion or for a pay raise within you. And they might make you work a few weeks before you get it. But a lot of you are going to get instant raises. A lot of you are going to get instant promotions. Once you get hired into this new job, you're going to get hired at that leadership level that you've been waiting for so long to get in at this other job. So this is definitely bright new things on the horizon. And this is what's coming for you with this Taurus moon, is really just a financial increase. When you work with determination and you work steadily to look for a job that is fitting for your caliber, that's fitting for what you're worth. So I'm going to pull one more card for you guys, and it's the King of Cups. And the King of Cups in this instance, some of you might be a Pisces, you might be a Cancer. Sometimes you might struggle with really knowing your worth. I know a lot of you Pisces out there are really gifted, but a lot of times you guys struggle with like realizing your worth and really like going for what you're worth. And you guys a lot of times end up you might be somebody who ends up playing a role of getting burdened with responsibilities without getting the rewards from it. You might end up in the victim role sometimes. And this is just to remind you to be aware of your worth, to be aware of what you're worth, of your experience, of all that you bring to the table, of the way that before you get to work, a lot of people can't do their job without you. A lot of people rely on you. A lot of people pretend to be your friend at work just because they know they're completely incompetent when you're not there. And you need to realize the bedrock that you are at your job is the person that you are, that everybody relies on, that big brother, big sister role, or that mother role that a lot of you guys play at work. And just realize that that in itself is a leadership skill. A lot of you guys don't even look down on these people because you see that they just don't have the experience that you have, and you've mentored them. And you can definitely put that on your resume. Any skill that you have, you can put on your resume. Like, to let these people know that you're applying for jobs with, that you have those leadership skills. So don't take yourself for granted. Don't count yourself out. And don't count your skills out either. Like, you guys are very gifted in what you do. And a lot of you have wanted to do this for years. And this is just the wrong job for you. But when you find that right job and you come in there knowing your worth, a lot of you need to do self-worth affirmations. And for you, even though this is about your career, for this Taurus moon, Taurus having to do with value, ruled by Venus. Venus has to do with value. And it's not only about valuing other people, but it's also about valuing yourself and your relationship with yourself. And a lot of you need to value yourself a lot more, because you're worth so much more than what is currently being reflected by your paycheck and by the way that you're being overlooked. So this is all about valuing you. This is about learning the lesson of valuing yourself so you can get to that wheel of fortune and that next step in your life. So that's it for you guys, pile 4. I actually want to draw one more card for you guys before I go and move on to the last pile, pile 5. And for a lot of you, what's holding you back is that you feel discouraged. You come back from work drained. This is the 5 of Cups here, and the 5 of Cups has to do with isolation. A lot of you are in a position where you feel like even though you're the only one that can do what you do, you're not appreciated for it, and you feel so unappreciated even though you help so many people. And you just come home from work drained. You come home from work without the energy to look for a job. And that's what's stopping you from getting to that wheel of fortune. That's what's stopping you from getting to that job with that pay raise that's waiting for you. from that big opportunity. And what you really need to do is to take some time off. Some of you have paid leave that you haven't cashed in. Some of you have time off that you haven't taken. Some of you need to take a sick day and apply for other jobs. Some of you need to just take a day to rest. Take your, one day out of your weekend rest and then apply for jobs, and apply for jobs the next day. Some of you need to just ask for a couple days off. And they're probably not going to replace you. I mean, they're probably not going to fire you if you do that because they need you so badly. They're really afraid if you leave. They're afraid of you leaving. And take as much time off as you need or as you want within reason to find that other job. And just let your job know ahead of time. Ask for 2 weeks off. Just, do what you have to do. Say you're going to a family reunion, whatever. And, it's the holidays. Like, it's about to be the holiday time. Say you're going to a family get-together. It really doesn't matter. But you need to value yourself first. And don't let yourself get discouraged because better things are coming. Like, better days are definitely up and coming for you guys. So don't let this emotion here of discouragement get you down. Make sure that you take the time that you need to value yourself. Put yourself first. And put yourself first. And do what you need to do to get yourself to that next level. So that's it for pile 4. And we're going to move on to pile 5 from my reading. You guys are the shortest pile, but last is not least. And that does not mean there's not a powerful message in here for you guys. So let's get to it and see what's going on. Okay, so here, a lot of you guys might be going through major depression or through a depressive episode. Some of you guys might be struggling with bipolar. A lot of you guys might just get seasonally depressed. I'm definitely getting a down feeling from this card. You're just being drugged down. A lot of you just feel down. A lot of you feel like you're just being brought down in your emotions right now. And that's really being represented by the 4 of Cups here. It's upside down. And that just signals to me that this is a circumstantial thing. It might be because of the season. Some people have SAD where they get like depressed during the colder seasons. The sun's not out as long. And a lot of you guys need to like drink green tea. A lot of you guys need to relax your mind and your body. And others of you just need to take long walks outside, expose yourself to some sun, and really get yourself like out of that funk, out of that negativity, out of that negative mood. The Hermit card is also upside down, which lets me know that you guys are going through a period of isolation. For some of you, you guys might just be bummed out that you're going through a period of isolation. This Hermit card is upside down, so this is not a prolonged period of isolation. Maybe you guys just broke up with somebody. Maybe you guys just left a circle of friends or moved, and now you don't have that social circle anymore. But you guys are really allowing this to affect your self-esteem. The Emperor is here upside down. So you guys are just not feeling like you. A lot of you guys, whatever you're going through, whether it's depression, whether it's sadness for some reason, a breakup, being removed from a social circle, a lot of you guys just aren't feeling empowered. You're not feeling like you. A lot of you might be Sagittarius. Some of you might be Scorpio. Some of you might be Pisces or Taurus. And especially with Tauruses, with signs that need a lot of stability and routine, when you're taken away from what's familiar to you, it can really put you in a funk. It can really make you feel just like out of it. It can make you feel not only out of your element, but it can make you feel like you lost your favorite thing. Like you just don't feel like you. It's like losing your cell phone. It's like, losing something that's really important to you. It's like losing your Instagram page that had thousands of followers on it, something that you've worked hard on, something you've invested in and valued. And for a lot of you, maybe you lost a pet, you lost something that you really value, and you're just not feeling like yourself anymore because of that. For a lot of you, what you need to do is you need to redefine and reassess your self-worth, and this is represented by the Knight of Pentacles. You need to redefine and reassess your self-worth. So whatever this was, this social group, whatever it is that you're going through, you're allowing this loss to define you, and you almost feel like you lost a part of your identity. Maybe some of you went through a breakup, maybe some of you guys stopped talking to your best friend, and you just feel like you don't feel like your usual self. And you need to get out there and get new experiences. This is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is a fairly young sign. It has to do with experiences, a sense of youth, a sense of immaturity at the same time, and needing to go on new experiences or experiencing something new. And for a lot of you, those new experiences are going to redefine you, and they're going to give you a sense of value in yourself, because you should never allow yourself to be defined by something outside of yourself. If you do that, it's going to mess up your value system. It's going to mess up your self-esteem every time, because objects, people, pets, anything, titles, degrees can all be lost, or they can all lose their value. And so it's really important, especially for you guys. Some of you guys are very insecure. Some of you guys might be a Virgo or a Sagittarius. A lot of those signs get stereotyped as insecure signs. I'm not saying that they are or not, but at the same time, a lot of you do struggle with self-validation. And yeah, a lot of you guys need to start validating yourself and to stop looking to other people to validate you. Some of you guys had something very hurtful said to you by a family member. They might have been a grandmother. They might have been an older sister. They might have been a teacher. It might have been somebody that you really trusted, and they said something about you that really just hurt your self-image, that made you think of yourself in a different way. And you need to make sure that you're really just giving yourself that love first. You need to make sure that you are valuing yourself and not letting other people value you. So get out and see the world. The holidays are coming up. It's lots of events happening. Go on the hayride. Contact a friend that you haven't contacted in a while, and go out in nature. Taurus also has to do with nature, has to do with enjoying and loving nature, and growing things from nature. So it's time for you to go do some self-growth. Get yourself out there in the world and see some new things, have some new experiences that teach you about yourself. Take some selfies and post them online, post them on Instagram. Get a OkCupid or online dating page or something like that, and get to know new people. And be the person that you want to be and value yourself. Write a list of all the things that you like about yourself. This Taurus moon is really here to show you what you value about yourself, to show you self-value, and to help you to appreciate yourself for who you are outside of what anyone else says. So you can stand your ground on who you are, and nothing that happens around you can shake you from that. And another card that came up here for you all was also the Hierophant. This has to do with a cycle ending in your life of you giving your power away to others, of you giving your self-esteem away to others, of you putting your self-esteem and the way that you value yourself in other people's hands, in the hands of teachers. Maybe you were somebody that was always very smart in school, so you always got praised for that. But now you're starting to see people are hating on you for that. Maybe you always did well at your job and your boss always praised you for that, but now you have a new boss that's being competitive. Some of you are just so used to and have been used to from a young age getting validated by others. And it's time for that cycle to stop so that you can be more empowered. And even though whatever's pulling you down right now, whatever loss or that loss of self-esteem that happened to you, it feels like a curse. It's really a blessing, because it's showing you that you don't need any of this. You don't need any of these outside things or outside people who may really not know what they're talking about anyway, to evaluate you, to show you who you are. You value you, and you define yourself, and you tell other people who you are, not the other way around. And the Hierophant is like the high priest. He is independent in his own right. He has a divine self-worth. He's connected to the divine, and he doesn't care what anybody else says about him, because it's about what the universe says about him. It's about what his higher self wants him to be. And he is so connected to self, nothing outside of him can shake him, because he knows in his own divine right who he is. So for this Taurus moon, it's really about you learning your own value of who you are. A lot of you might have some spiritual gifts that you haven't tapped into, and figure out what your spiritual gifts are. For a lot of you, you might have total other sides of yourself. A lot of you guys, in like a year or so, in a couple months, you're going to be totally like redefining yourself as a person, and you're just on the brink of that. Like, you are redefining yourself. You are about to go on a journey of redefining yourself and finding out parts of yourself that are going to really surprise you, but you're going to really be delighted by it, because you're going to find out parts of yourself that you didn't even know that you were. You're going to find out potential that you have that you didn't even know. I feel like a lot of this group is probably very young. Some of you might be in your late teens or in your teens. Others of you might be in your, like, going through your Saturn return, somewhere between 27 and 29 or 30. And a lot of you just, yeah, like, you're about to be on the brink of really discovering yourself, of self-discovery. And this full moon is going to help bring you into that. So a lot of you guys need to really manifest some self-value, some self-esteem, and really get connected with your self-worth that way. Okay, guys, well, I wish you all the best with your full moon in Taurus manifestations. And you can always come to the Queen's Tarot for any type of spiritual help, any type of reading that you might need. Always be able to contact my numbers down below if you guys want to get your personal readings, or if you guys want any more information on the card pulls of the cards that you pick. But I do wish you all the best for this full moon in Taurus. This is the Queen's Tarot. And like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what pile you picked. Tell me what manifestations you're doing for the full moon. If you want to, tell me what your sign is, and what pile you picked. And then also follow me on Twitter at the Queen's Tarot. There'll be more reads coming up, more pick a pile spreads, more readings coming forward. So make sure you check the page. I post at least a couple times a week, and so there'll be more coming up. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, have a great full moon.